Our science teacher, Isur Neupani, and my dear friends, as you all know, it's me Nistara from grade 9, standing in front of you to present chapter 6 on the topic of nature and environment. I'm member of group, as I'm a captain of group B, Nistara, and my member are Nistara, Kritika, SNEHA and Pires.
Slowly, next one.
As my friend Kritika has already discussed about biotic component, in biotic component, producer, consumer and decomposer are related, and my topic is trophic level food chain and food web, but I'm sorry, food web is of another friends. Trophic level.
Right, left side you have to do. The right to left.
The producer-consumer arrangement is known as a trophic structure, and the position that an organism occupies in such arrangement is known as trophic level. The process of being a producer and arrangement, the producer-consumer arrangement is known as a trophic structure, and the position that an organism occupies in such arrangement. Inside the producer-consumer arrangements occupies is known as trophic level, and the introductions of first trophic level, second trophic level, and third trophic level, and fourth trophic level. First trophic level. The green plants like plant protein or shrub or trees that derive their energy from the sun are called producer. What are producer? The producer which merely obtain their food from sunlight, especially like herbs, shrub or trees. Like in our school also they are present, like shrubs means they are small plant, or also small plant. Trees are like forest, etc. And the producer belong to the first, as producer belong to the first trophic level. You want to explain?
No, you carry on.
Now, just go from right to left. No, right to left. Again. Yes.
All the herbivores are primary consumers that derive their energy from the producer belong to secondary trophic level. First trophic level was the producer, but all the herbivores means plant eating or primary consumer that derive their energy. That derive means obtain. It's we can say as obtain their energy. They obtain their energy from the producer belong producer. That is second trophic level also belong to producer, and the secondary consumer which feed on the primary consumer constitute third trophic level. Third trophic level is known as also a secondary consumer which feed on the primary consumer, and tertiary consumer that feed on the secondary consumer represent the fourth consumer, and the fourth consumer trophic level represent the secondary consumer that feed on the secondary consumer. This is a figure of ecological pyramid. As you can see here, producer, primary consumer, secondary consumer, and tertiary consumer. In producer, you can mainly see a green plants, because green plants are able to produce their food by themselves, and the consumer, primary consumer, are almost of herbivorous that eat plants, and secondary consumer are like snakes, toad. They feed on both herbivorous and producer and primary consumer, and tertiary consumer are both. They are also known as carnivorous because they feed on both producer, primary, and secondary. This is the figure. This is also figure of ecological pyramid. And my last portion is food chain, the transfer of energy and the material in form of food from one trophic level to another trophic level by the repeated process of eating and being eaten is known as food chain. What is food chain? The process of eating, the process of transfer of energy from form of food from one trophic level to another trophic level, repeated in same process of being eaten or by eating is known as food chains. It flow of food and it is the flow of food and energy in a single direction in a food cycle. It can be considered as a unit of food chains. Food chain is also considered as a unit of food web. A food chain is divided into trophic level. Producer or green plants represent the first trophic level in all the food. Food chain is also divided into trophic level. The producer or green plants represent in the first trophic level, as I already said before. Food chain, this is a figure of food chains. You can see it is process of being eating or being eaten, like producer eaten by grass, super or primary, and secondary bluebird eaten by snake, tertiary consumer, and tertiary consumer eaten by decomposer. This is a process. It has been a natural process from the beginning of our journey of life, and food chain is compulsory. Without food chains, our life wouldn't be able to survive, because it has imbalance. It has balanced the environment according to the situations. Thank you, and have a good day.
Now order, where order?
Mine?
I explain.
Okay.
You are not Guru?
I am.
Then what happened? He became confused whether it is Guru or not. You are saying from the beginning. Or if it became difficult, you do like this, just a minute.
Yeah.
Now see, she will do like this. Now you click one by one and explain. Yeah, in that way she will do. Okay? Listen.
Nistara has explained about trophic levels, food chain, and food web. And first, I would like to describe about trophic level.
Why did you make this bigger one? You couldn't explain smaller only.
It became itself.
Bigger, now explain.
Where to click for next?
Down.
Yeah.
Number wise, yeah. Okay.
The consumer arrangement is known as a trophic structure, and the position that an organism occupies in such arrangement is called trophic level. Trophic structure is the arrangement of consumer, producer, consumer, and their space or position or arrangement in the system is called trophic level. And there are 4 kinds of trophic level. They are first trophic level, second trophic level, and third trophic level, fourth trophic level. And the green plants like phytoplankton, herbs, shrub on the trees that derive energy from the sun are called producers. The producers belong to the first trophic levels. That means all the green plants we see around us, like from small plants to big plants, they gain energy from the sun, and they are known as producers. And producers belong to first trophic level. That means those organisms or green plants which gain energy from the sun are called are the producers, and they belong to first trophic level. And all the herbivores or primary consumers that derive their energy from producer belong to second trophic level. That means other herbivores, that means who only feed on green plants, or primary consumers gain or take energy from producers. That means green plants, they belong to second trophic level. That means they are arranged in they are placed in second trophic level in trophic structure. The secondary consumer which feed on primary consumer constitute third trophic level. That means those kind of secondary consumer which feed on before primary consumer are called arranged in third trophic level. The tertiary consumer that feed on the second consumer represent the fourth trophic level. That means tertiary consumers which feed on the secondary consumers are represented or arranged into the fourth trophic level. And here is a ecological pyramid and energy pyramid of the consumers. So first, the broad space is gained by those producers. They are herbs, shrubs, and trees. And next portion is gained up by some primary consumers, and after that secondary consumers, and at last tertiary consumers. And in this energy pyramid we can see that 100% of energy is occupied or given by primary producers, 10% of primary consumers, 1% of secondary consumers, 0.1% of third level consumers, and 0.01% by apex predators. And next topic here, Nistara has mentioned in the slide, is about food chain. The transfer of energy and materials in food in form of food from one trophic level to another trophic level by repeated process of eating and being eaten is known as food chain. That means food chain is a process in which our energy is transferred in the form of food, in which process includes being eaten or eating next from trophic levels are called food chain. It is flow of food and energy in a single direction in a food cycle. So this sentence is telling about the figure. Here producer grass is eaten by grasshopper, which is primary consumer, and the grasshopper is eaten by bluebird, which is secondary consumer. Again the secondary consumer is eaten by snake, which is tertiary consumer, and next up it is done by owl, apex predator, and again it is decomposed by the mushroom, which is decomposer, and again the same process repeats. That means food chain is a flow of single direction or a food cycle, and it can be considered as a unit of food wave. Food wave and food chain are totally different. Just a food chain is just one basic unit of food wave. A food chain is divided into trophic level or trophic levels. Producers or green plants represent first trophic level. That I have already said represented in previous slide, that producers or green plants are called first trophic level in all the food. chains, the producers are basic sources of food for all. That means green plants are sources of food for all of us. And by saying this much, we like to conclude our presentation. Thank you and have a great day.
Thank you, and have a great day. So, second presentator. Basically, what to remember, children, here, these two figures. One figure is here. Producer-consumer arrangement is called trophic structure. Arrangement of producer and consumer is trophic structure. And why their position? Like, see, producers, they lie in one position. Then primary consumer, second one. Secondary consumer, third one. Tertiary consumer, fourth one. Or if there is topper one, that is called apex consumer. So the base, this is first trophic level. What is this? Producers always they lie at first trophic level. Producers are eaten by primary consumer. They are second, what is that? Trophic level. Then secondary consumers are, what is that? Third trophic level, and they are fourth trophic level. Producers means green plants are first trophic level, primary consumer second, tertiary consumer third, fourth, then tertiary are fourth. These are the same. Next one is food chain. See, green plants, they manufacture food by using solar energy, and green plants are eaten by grasshopper. Why grasshopper? Primary consumer. Why grasshopper eats grass? To get energy. Solar energy is present here. That energy goes to which one? Grasshopper. When grasshopper is eaten by bird, then that energy is transferred to bird. And when bird is eaten by snake, that energy is transferred to snake. So here is transformation of energy from one organism to another organism. That is called food chain. In food chain, one organism is eaten by another organism. Here is given process of eating and being eaten. One organism eats and that is eaten by another one. Always there is danger, isn't it? In forest also, grass is eaten by deer. Now deer, can it be safe? Deer may be eaten by jackal. And if that jackal safe, that may be eaten by lion or tiger. Yes or no? And lion, tiger are not eaten by any. Sometimes they may fight with elephant, this and that, and may die. When they die, they are again attacked by decomposers. Yes or no? For energy.
Sir, what is that apex predator?
Apex means at the topmost. Like first, second, third, and this is called apex, topmost. Okay? So now it's the turn of our next presentator. Who is the next presentator? SNEHA RAI, and who is your guru? Arina. Please come. SNEHA and Arina. How many 10 slides are there? Oh, will you make a bigger one?
Sir, there is animation.
Animation, there is animation. Animation means hold down just a minute. With animation, then must be downloaded. Downloaded. Open. Please, don't hurry. Here. What?
Namaskar and very warm good morning to you all, respected science teachers and my dear friend. As you all know, it's Nistara from Grape and standing here to present a presentation on food web. Food web, the trophic relation among simple chain, but it forms a complicated network of food chain. This net-like trophic relationship is called a food web. In other words, a food web is a network of food chain interconnected at a various trophic level.
Here we are discussing about food web. Food web, here the trophic relation among simple chain, but it forms a complicated network of food chain. It means that food web is a trophic relation among simple chain. It is but it forms a complicated network of food chain. This net-like trophic relationship is called a food web. This trophic relation may be simple, but the food chain is complicated network. In other words, a food web is a network of food chain interconnected at various trophic levels. The food chain connects the food web as food chain is the basic unit of food web.
If we go in further details of the food chain, we shall observe that the food chain are not isolated from one another. For example, a mouse may be eaten some grain in a field, and in turn it may be eaten by snake or a hawk. Similarly, the rabbit and the grasshopper also feed on a branch, and in turn they may be eaten by snake and hawk. A food web provides the alternative pathway of food availability. This also helps in checking the balance of animals and plants. A terrestrial food web explains the interlocking of various food chains in a terrestrial community. The aquatic food web explains the interlocking of various food chains in a water community.
If we go further in details about food web, we can know about detailing about food chain too. We shall observe that the food chain are not isolated from one another. Taking an example of a mouse eating a grain in a field, and that mouse can also be eaten by a snake or a hawk. Similarly, the rabbit and the grasshopper also feed on grass, which is producer, and in turn they may be eaten by a snake and hawk. A food web provides the alternative pathways of food availability. Due to food web, each animals are able to get nutrition for their survival. This also helps in checking the balance of animals and plants. Food web maintains the balance of the animals and plants in our surrounding or environment. A terrestrial food web explains the interlocking of various food chains in a terrestrial community. If it is described about terrestrial food web, it means the food web or the interlocking of various food chains in a terrestrial community, while an aquatic food web explains the interlocking of various food chains in a water community. Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you very much. So, SNEHA, right, she has got the slide of food web. Here is already given, thank you. This is the diagram of food web, right? So, what does it show? Trees, grass, they are producers. They produce food. And trees are eaten by deer. Deer may be eaten by snake, okay, but snake, let's see here, tiger. Yes or no? Again, grass is eaten by grasshopper, grass is eaten by mouse. It says that it is difficult to get isolated food chain, only one food chain. Food chains are connected in different levels. Like see here, producer eaten by this one, and mouse, grasshopper, frog again eaten by eagle, again eaten by mouse, this eagle. Eagle eats mouse also, eagle eats frog also. So they are connected here in here primary consumer, but here secondary consumer, isn't it? So there, what is given here? Interconnected at various trophic levels. Simply, process of transfer of energy from one organism to another is food chain. But when many more food chains are connected, that is called food web. Okay? Now the last presentator is here. Who is the last presentator? Okay. Viresh, please come here. And who is your super guru? Arina is super guru. Come. He is going to explain about differences between food chain and food web.
Sorry. What is your name?
What is your email ID? Just to pass. Baucha. What is your name? Write your name. Why you bother your name? Don't bother nothing.
Email.
There is no any email. There is no any email sent by this Northern Village. Why didn't you send the email?
Sir, I tried that.
Why didn't you send? With the captain, I didn't send you. Why didn't you send to her also? You have to send 2 persons. And one is school and another is one. Why didn't you make this? You are very passive boy, huh? Yes, yes. Okay, then you open that portion, differences between next one. Very lazy boy here. Work is not done. You come this side.
Here I am about to describe about difference between
One more you cannot do, huh?
difference between a food chain and
How
food
is it?
web. Food chain and food web are two different terms which can be described in such a way. Food chain. A food chain is a single pathway of transfer of food and energy. Food chain is the process of transfer of energy and food in a single pathway, while a food web is the interconnection of food chains which consists of a number of food chains. Next one is the food chain. The organism which belong to higher trophic level feed upon a single type of organism. The higher trophic level feed upon a single type of organism, while food web, the organism of higher trophic level feed upon many types of organism. It is a web while a higher trophic level feed upon many types of organisms present in our surrounding. And next one is food chain. It has no role on improving adaptability and competitiveness of the organism. Food chain does not develop the adaptability and competitiveness. Adaptability means to adapt the surrounding, and competitiveness means the can be described as the role to survive in the environment by each organism. While food web improves the adaptability and competitiveness of the organisms. In the food web, each organisms have want to protect their life and they adapt their surrounding and compete between other organisms for their survival. While in food chain, it increases instability in an ecosystem. It means that sometimes food chain can create instability in our surrounding, while food web increases stability in an ecosystem and makes the environment balanced. Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you very much, Arina. So there is one problem. It is found that Viresh, he handed over that duty to Anmol Adhikari, and Anmol Adhikari didn't send. Isn't it? So when you take duty of others, make up to date, boy. Because of you, he fully dependent upon you, and you didn't do anything. You send means where is it? You send means it must come. Isn't it? Or has it gone in spam? Is it here? If you have sent, is it here? Then you didn't send. If sent, it must come here. Children, what they are very smart. They send 2 times, 3 times. Remember. So if you take some person's activities to do, don't forget to check 2-3 times. Okay. So today what did we discuss? Biotic components, trophic level, food chain and food web. And tomorrow there is presentation of Group C. Group C, be ready. Who are Group C? They will get during daytime. Okay? Thank you. Group C they have done? Then Group D.